welcome to my Salon Viable Christmas Design Set workshop. In this workshop I'm going to teach you how to create really simple designs that you can do on your clients in super quick time. I really hope you enjoy it, so let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome to my Salon Viable Christmas Design workshop. So I've already prepared my tips and I have done 2 coats of my gel polish and then also my top coat. So if we were doing this on a client, we will have done our prep, our base coat, 2 coats, and then our top coat. So I've decided to use a shiny top coat for this because the gel polishes that I've used have got that little bit of sparkle to them. So I wanted to keep that and not matte them down. So these designs are perfect for if a client has their nails done and then want at the end of their appointment to decide to have some nail art done. So it's really quick, really easy, but really effective salon viable designs. So I'm using my gel paint, and for this nail we are going to do some really simple holly designs. Okay, so I've put my gel paint down, so I'm using red and green, and I'm also going to be using a dotting tool. Okay, so I've got my dotting tools here, and I've also got my ultra fine detailer brush. Alright, so I'm just going to grab this nail and I'm going to go in with a small dotting tool, so not my pointy dotting tool, my smallest one, and I'm going to go into my red first of all, and I'm going to pop down where I want my holly sprigs to be. So I'm going to go all over the nail with this, and I'm just doing my first random berries. So I'm going to pop that in for a quick flash cure. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want my dots to merge into one another. Okay, so it's really important to flash cure in between so that we can put our second and third dots to create our trio of berries for each of our sprigs of holly. So I'm now just creating a triangle with my dots, and just popping them on, going into my gel paint each time, making sure that we get that nice clean crisp dot. Okay, so I'm now going to pop that in for a half cure. So because this is gel paint, it's a full cure is 60 seconds, so a half cure is 30. So we don't need to fully cure it just yet until we put our leaves on. So to do our leaves, I'm going to use the green, and I'm going to go into my green with my ultra fine detailer brush, and I'm going to load up that brush ready for when this comes out of the lamp. And I'm going to do my first sprig of holly. So I'm going to come out this way and I'm going to draw a line to be able to work from, and then I'm going to create the spikes on my holly, like so. It's coming out and then doing a U shape and then bringing that to the tip. So I'll just show you that again, doing my line, my central point to work from, and then coming out, doing my U shape, and then bringing that down to the end of my line, and then doing the same on the other side. So with this design you can leave this like this so that your holly sprigs have that negative space in them, or you can fill it in. So I'm going to fill it in, and I'm using my phantom brush. I'm just using the very tip of my brush just to float that product out into that negative space. So just floating it out, making sure that those corners are really nice and crisp, and then tapering that out. Okay, so I'm now going to pop that in the lamp for a flash cure. And then do exactly the same again for the rest of my sprigs of holly. So you need to have a little think about where the sprigs are going to come from. And having some coming off of the nail really does add to the effect of this design. Okay, so like this one for example is coming off of the nail into the cuticle area. And then again doing that holly shape. And I'm going to continue to do that all the way along down the nail. And this is why using a gel paint is far easier than using a gel polish, because it's not going to bleed out and spread, it's going to hold its own weight. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're choosing your medium. So I'm just popping my lines in to make sure that these holly sprigs are going to come where I want them and fill the spaces on the nail. And then I'm going to come in and do my detail. And like I say, this is a really simple design, and you don't have to go all over the nail with this. You could just do like a cuticle cuff, or you could do one sprig down at the cuticle. It's entirely up to what you and your client decide. And also the colour of the background depends on you and your client. So just bringing that out, making sure that we've got that really nice tapered point. And then doing my last one. You can see once you get your flow how quick this design can be, which is why it's perfect for salon viable designs, because not all clients realise that they want Christmas nail art until they're sat in a chair, or they might have seen the client before with their nail art and get nail art envy and want something Christmassy. So again, I'm just going in with my slightly thicker phantom brush, just because it holds more weight of product and it enables us to fill these leaves in that little bit quicker than if we were doing it with our detailing brush. Filling in that negative space, making sure that we've got really nice crisp points on our holly leaves. and that is now going to go in for a full cure. Okay, so while that one's fully curing, we're going to crack on with our second nail. So on this nail I've done a really lovely deep dark blue that's got a little bit of shimmer to it as well, and we're going to create a really simple, I'm just going to get rid of that, a really simple Christmas swirl Christmas tree. So I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to go in with my silver for this one, but again you can use any colourway that you want, and again I'm going to be using my painting gel. So I've cleaned off my ultrafine brush, and I'm going to put in where I want the top of my tree and then where I want my tree to end. Okay, so this is going to be a swirl coming down the nail. So I'm now loading up my brush, and I'm bringing this in and round, and with each swirl I'm just going to taper that up a little bit more. With each swirl you're getting slightly wider. Okay, so just snaking that down the nail. Bringing it out a little bit wider each time to create that triangular shape. And then just taper that off. So I'm now going to go in and refine this line, make it a little bit more consistent on my curves as well. And again I'm using a painting gel, but you can use a gel polish for this. I wouldn't recommend to use anything that's got too much of a glitter consistency. You want something that's got more of a shimmer to it, because the chunks of glitter you are going to lose the smoothness of your design. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp now for a full cure, and my holly has now come out. So it's up to you whether you just wipe this off and remove that inhibition layer and leave it as is, so your holly is sat on top of your shiny top coat there, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So while my Christmas tree is in the lamp, I'm going to crack on with this now. So we've got a little bit of sparkle in there, it's almost like a milk bath, okay, and we're going to create some stars. So I'm going to go in with the blue that I used, and this is normal gel polish that I used for the background of my Christmas tree. I'm also going to use a red that's also got a little bit of a shimmer to it, and I'm going to go in with the dotting tool first of all and just get my placement. So I'm going to put a red star there and a red star there and a blue star here, and I might do the edge of a blue star here and also here. Okay, so I'm now going to go in with my phantom brush. This is from Crystal Nails. I'm going to go into that red polish and I'm going to come across and taper that out, and then I'm going to do my highest point of my star and create like an A shape. Right, and then this point here from this horizontal line needs to come down to the bottom of the A, and this line here needs to come down to the bottom of this side of the A, and that's the easiest way to create a star. Tapering out those points, making sure that they're nice and crisp. I'm going to do exactly the same here, so going as my horizontal line, creating that top point and that A-frame either side of my dot, and then marrying up these 2 points here, so coming down and then coming down this side. Just floating that product out. I'll do the same with my blue. So again, coming across, A-frame, and then marrying up those diagonal points, floating out that product as I go. Making sure that your product distribution is nice and even so that we get a nice even cure. And then doing exactly the same again. So again, I want this one coming off of the nail slightly. And then I'm going to do an itty bitty one here, coming down, and bringing that off of the nail. Just going to elongate that point there ever so slightly, also up here. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp now for a full cure, and because that's normal gel polish, it is 30 seconds. So we've got our tree back out. Now you can leave it like this, but I want to add a little bit of interest to it. So again, I'm going to go in with my detailer brush, and I'm just going to add a star on top, so exactly the same way as we've just done our other stars. So go horizontal, put your A-frame in, and then marry up those 2 lines, or 2 points should I say, and then fill in that negative space. And then I'm just going to create a little bit of a snowdrift. So I'm going to go in with my pointy dotting tool and just add a little bit of interest. And we don't want this to overpower the tree, we just want it to add a little bit of background, just randomly popping those dots in and then coming around the other side. And then just checking that that's nice and random, which it is. So I'm going to pop that in the lamp now, and that's going to go in for full cure. So because it's painting gel, it's 60 seconds. So with these stars, you could absolutely leave them as they are, but I am going to go around them with a little bit of that silver painting gel, just to give them a little bit more highlight and definition. So you can go in with your fine liner, but I'm just using the very tip of my phantom brush because it's fine enough to be able to do this. So I'm going around the entirety of my stars, bringing out those points, making sure that they're nice and crisp. and just adding that little bit of extra dimension to them. So I'm going to pop that one in for a flash cure. And our tree is now done. So as you can see, it's super simple, super quick and easy, but really, really effective with regard to a salon viable Christmas design. So I'm now going to go back in with my silver gel paint and continue to do the rest of my stars. Again, making sure that our points are nice and crisp. You don't want to lose that definition. On this area here where it's by that cuticle, obviously we need to make sure that we're not touching the client's skin and overexposing them to our product. And also here, if there's a side wall there, make sure that you haven't got any contact with their skin whatsoever. I'm just going around this last star now. I'm just gonna give this star a second coat because it was a little bit too translucent. So that's now going to go in the lamp for a full cure, which is 60 seconds. I'm going to get rid of this and show you the 3 nails that we have done. Super quick, super easy, but super duper effective. So we have got our holly on our silver, our Christmas tree on that midnight blue, and this would obviously work in red and gold as well. It's entirely up to you, but I really like that silver and dark blue contrast that you've got there. And then we have got our stars as well. And that completes this Salon Viable Christmas Design workshop. So that completes this workshop. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure you click the like button, and if you'd like to see any future workshops, please make sure you click the subscribe button and that notification bell. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.